Hello, I'm Pachi. I am a programmer and a content creator.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, today I'm here to tell you about the magic of giving up and how letting go of things that not serve you can make your life more awesome. So, um, hi again, I'm Pachi, and I want you to give up. I gave up lots of things during my life, too many things for me to remember and to tell you today. Sometimes were planned, sometimes there wasn't planned. But I'm going to tell you today about some of those things. And I'm going to start with one of the biggest gave ups, quittings of my life. Once upon a time, I was a nanny. I was a nanny for nearly a decade. I specialize in newborns and babies. And I was very good at making babies sleep. If you are a parent or you care for kids, you know how precious that skill is. So somebody told me once that I could make an extra money as a sleep coach, and I thought that was awesome, and I jumped into it. I had to do a training because it happens that parents love certificates. So I got into expensive training, and after the training, I found out that actually sleeping consultation is big chunk business, and just a little bit actually helping families to sleep. And the problem was, I'm not a business person. I wasn't back then, and I am not right now. But I tried. I did marketing classes. I did personal relationship classes. I tried to learn how to speak better, how to get clients, how to just deal with people. And that wasn't working. So this is the numbers. I was still working as a nanny. I was making around $2,000 per month, working 45 hours a week. And half of this money was to pay my leave expenses. And I haven't told you yet, but the training is the zip training class was actually $9,000, and it was paying monthly. And the business wasn't making any money at the moment. Plus all the hours I invested working trying to make the business work. So what I didn't like at all was worry, stress, and anxiety. And you probably know how much that costs for you. So eventually I gave up. I felt like a failure, that I wasted all this money. I felt so bad, but I just couldn't keep going. I was just slowly draining myself and walking into depression. And, that was a problem. Why was that a problem? Because, society is like, don't give up. And sometimes it's been aggressive, like this guy. But sometimes just a mom saying, like, sweetie, you can do it. Or you tell to your best friend, like, just keep going. Everything gonna work out. And it's okay. Most of the times people come from a place of love. But the problem is often we keep going to things that we don't really want, or they're not good for us, or they don't align with our best self anymore, because we believe that giving up is a bad thing, and you are too worried about that. So I asked on Twitter how many people had actually that just kept doing something. It could be a relationship, it could be a job or anything, and they just kept going to this thing that wasn't good for them or even made them miserable, just because they believe that giving up was a bad thing. And as you can see, like 92% of people say yes. And again, this can be anything. Maybe you're thinking about something, you're aware of that. And of course, my cat is scratching the door right now. Good time, cat. So, like, why is giving up a bad thing? Like, who told us that giving up is a bad thing? Is that because we feel like failures, you're failing, or you're just too ashamed of giving up? Or maybe you're too pride. Like, if you give up, it means that I'm not good enough. It means that I'm weak. Or you're just afraid of people's judgment. And sometimes we're just sure about our in-laws' opinions. Yay, especially about raising kids. So anyways, like, why is giving up a bad thing? Where did it come from? And why do you keep going at things that are not good for us? And I'm here just to tell you today that giving up is okay. It's really okay. Of course, I don't want you to start giving up on everything in your life. Sometimes you just can't give up. Maybe you don't have the money to just quit your job and go start your dream of selling jewelry on the coast. And please don't reactively quit things. gratitude quitting is like you have a great job, you love your job, but today a client yelled at you and you're like, you know what? I don't need it. I'm quitting. You're probably going to regret that later. And don't give up when you really know that the thing you're doing going to really pay off and it's something that you really wanted. I have been teaching myself how to code for over 2 years now, and it was hard. So hard. It still is. I want to give up more times than I can tell, but I didn't, and it really paid off. So, trust your intuition. I know that's a bit like, but especially a woman, we have a good intuition. So you're still, okay, I'm going to trust my intuition, but how do I know that I should give up? And here are some tips. If you're feeling miserable, and not just today, every day, you think about those things and like, oh, do I really have to do this today? And you had to ask yourself, is it really worth it the way it's making me feel? And worth it is, I want to just emphasize this word, because some things might seem worth it, but they are not worth it for your heart. And I have a good friend of mine here. He was super close of getting a PhD in astrophysics. And, being a doctor in astrophysics sounds super worth it, right? But he was getting depressed. He had found another job in another field that he was really in love. And a PhD in astrophysics would be totally useless for that. But every day he woke up, started running his thesis, he was feeling depressed. And eventually he thought he went to therapy. And they agreed, okay, just give up that. And he did. And despite all the money and time he spent on his PhD, he's much happier now, like no depression anymore. So you have to make sure that the thing is not just worth it in general, in a society concept, but something that you really want. Another good time to give up is if it's taking focus from something that matters more, like what really matters to you. And my example here, like Stephanie, one of the China co-founders, I was talking to her while working on this talk, and she told me that last year she had Shine and she had another business she was working on. But Shine was her baby, right? But the thing is, if you have two projects, you're not going to be able to give 100% of yourself to one because you have to share. Now, Stephanie, she really wants Shine to be the best thing ever. As you can see, this conference is really amazing, and it's partially because of her. If she had kept with the second job, she'll never be able to give 100% to Shine. And here, business is the example, but the business relationship. As a nanny in New York, I work with families, with moms that they only saw their kids in the weekends. So, if maybe you start a new family, you want to focus more on that family, that what really matters to you. Maybe it would be, maybe drop a few hours of work, or maybe get a new drop out together. It all depends on what really matters to you. Also, YOLO, you only live once. You're saying, oh, Patty, I'm a business woman. I'm too busy to think about those things. But it's so true. Like, if COVID taught us anything, is that we don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow. So why don't you spend time with whatever your blank is when you could be doing something else? So back years ago, I was still in Brazil. I had got a free ride to law school, okay? Everything paid. I just had to pay the bus to go to school. I did the first year, was fine. And the second year, I wasn't feeling it anymore and I wanted to drop it. But it was free college. And my family was so proud, especially I have an uncle that is an attorney. He was so proud of me. And I didn't want to give up. So I want to give up, but I kept going, even if I wasn't loving that. Then later in the year, a really good friend of mine, he committed suicide. And he was my age. I was 21 back there. And that really hit me hard. Not because I want to do something similar. And, again, back to give up. If you think about giving up your life, don't do it. Well, ask for help. Your life really matters. But I really thought, like, wow, he was so young. I'm so young. Life is so much more of, what my family thinks, what free college is. And I just gave up in high school and I went back. And then I ended up just like, I want to do some adventures, do something big with my life. So I just came to the West as an au pair. And I have been here since. I'm not a seller, a buyer of the American dream, but I grew a lot personally. I struggled a lot. And right now I am in a place of my life that I'm really happy and satisfied. So giving up, especially that in the time that I gave up my sleep business, it really allowed me to open my eyes to other things. Because if you're focused on something that you don't love, you don't have energy for anything else, you don't have resources, and your mind is really closed. So the second I stopped focus on that business, of course, I felt so bad first, but then I accepted, and I started to think about coding. When my brother had told me to consider a career in programming for a while, and I keep pushing that. But this time, I said, yes, I'm going to start doing that. And that was awesome because like right now, I have a job that really aligns with my values. Like I know that passion for a job is not a requirement, but I really love my job, like what I do. Also, I have a 6-figure salary that I'm still thinking is a bit ridiculous. When I was starting my sleep business career thing, even when my wildest dreams, I was, oh, I'm going to make so much money with that, I never thought I was going to make 6 figures. And now I am. And last but not least, I have the coolest job title. I am a developer relations engineer. Like I am an engineer, and I am not the one that say that. You know, boss people say that, so they know what you're talking about. So before I go, I want you to take a screenshot or to take a picture of this and ask yourself, maybe not right now, but during the day or tomorrow, what would change in your life if you had like time or energy or resources to focus on the thing that really matters to you, whatever that may be. And what's keeping you in this thing? Or what is stopping you from letting go? Is pride, shame, is your sister-in-law? I don't know. It can be something different for everybody. And if you answer only one question, is what matters the most to you? And it's okay if it's your career. That's totally fine. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's your job. You just have to be honest with yourself. I don't care what matters most to you. I don't care at all. You have to know. And so yes, again, it's okay to give up. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. Pachi Codes. I'm go for Pachi Codes everywhere. So please follow me around. Thank you.